What you're about to see is a full track made and finished in 60 minutes. One timer, no templates, no pre-made loops. Write it, arrange it, mix it, done. And most producers couldn't do this. Not because they're bad, but because they don't have a system. See, here's the thing most producers don't talk about. You sit down, you find a sound you love, you build an 8-bar loop that actually feels good, and then it just stops. You lose the vibe, you lose the spark, you open a new project, same thing happens again. And months later, your hard drive is full of almost finished ideas and nothing actually released. That's not a talent problem, that's a system problem. So I've spent years building a 4-step system that solves exactly this. Sketch, arrange, flow, and mix. When you do these 4 things in the right order, finishing a track stops feeling like a struggle and starts feeling like a process. Now, I'm not gonna break down every detail here. This is about showing you what it looks like in practice. 1 hour, real time, let's go. All right, let's do this. Let's hit the timer and get started. I'm gonna try and pull in some drums. So we are in the sketch stage right now, and the most important thing for us to do is to write the music and pick the sounds. Okay, I'm already going to start to get some melodic stuff in. To do a bass line. Yeah, that could work. I might grab a tom to go with this to really get that low end groove happening. I want something, I think, in the gap. Something that's not the same as the bass line. Ooh, yeah. Maybe a bit of an FM bass as well too. Got a bit more coarse tune. It's pretty cool. Maybe even down an octave. Let's get some hats in there. Right now, we just want to write 2 loops, a drop and a break to start with. We're probably gonna need some sort of clap. Yeah, that one's pretty cool. See, we're definitely gonna have a right cymbal, a little bit of volume difference on them. I should really start out some swing on these while we're here as well too. Less. Yeah, maybe a snare drum. Okay, if the clap's there, then I might do something like a... Or even we could start at the end front. Let's get some chord stabs or something in there. I'll take a wavetable, go to at least to a saw, throw in a couple of these guys, we could try it. I'm not gonna want it there though, probably at the end of the bar. 7. A bit more of a 9th chord sounds good. Yeah, let's start with a couple of them. I might go for more of an FM additive, but lower. Darker filter, let's get some envelope on that guy. Maybe some warp. Definitely some unison. Maybe it's about time we make it our 1 bar into 2 bars. Yeah, maybe just the one at the end of the bar. Oh yeah, I like it. Okay, this is my chord stab. Crods. That's what they're called now. Let's try some sort of arpeggio. Let's do some 5ths. Get that envelope going again. Everything needs an envelope. Some sort of lead. Just some 8th notes to start with to get a vibe going. Let's use that additive synth again. And we'll layer in some... We're going to need some detuning or something that's a little bit too digital. Maybe even a little bit on the movement, position. Definitely going to want some unison. I don't know about that maybe. Yeah, sure, we could repeat that. Less notes. It's kind of cool. All right, that'll do. I think we need a breakdown for this. So let's take everything we got here, drag it out for a bunch of bars. Let's take out the kick. Let's do a bit of movement. Yeah, that could work. Bit of a 6-7-1. Maybe we take the up a little bit higher. Yeah, and if the bass, say, went really long there, that could be cool. I think we have our parts. I think we can get into the next step, which is arrangement, because we have our core melodic parts. We have our core drum parts. Maybe give me one more. Give me one more just in case. I'll take a pad. 7. I'll just start with a regular triad, maybe an octave below. This is going to need some movement on it for sure. Maybe even split this out into parallel can be fun, and putting this on band pass. Definitely some unison, of course. And let's get some movement on this one too. That's the sketch stage done. And here's the thing. The goal isn't just to get something down. It's to push it far enough that by the time you move on to arranging, you've got plenty to work with. Parts, options, ideas. A lot of producers rush this too much. They don't write enough parts, or they start mixing too early, which kills the creative flow completely. Now, I didn't touch the mix once. If I didn't like a sound, I changed the sound. That's it. So maximize each step before you move on. That's the whole game. All right, watch what happens next. Let's get some arranging happening, guys. Okay, we're in the next step. So we're going to do a rough, blocky arrangement. So let's do at least, give me twice as much as that. And give me, for my breakdown, this will be my main drop area. 16 is about what I want for my usual kind of breakdown there. Yeah, we'll do the intros and outros last because they're really just a copy of themselves. Okay, this big bass line thing, I don't think we need that straight away in the breakdown, and we can save it for the build-up. We need to see how's it going to start. Definitely not with a ride cymbal in there. Pad, we might use that towards the end. We're not going to start with our lead. We might ditch it there too, so we can have a break from it. Maybe there as well. Maybe there too. See, I'm just moving things around like Lego, just keeping things real simple. So that's too many parts to start with. Let's take some away. Nothing, yeah. And maybe we come in with hats. Yeah, then maybe like the clap and the other hat. Then the snare, then the ride. Then I want to really strip it back in the breakdown, basically to nothing, bit of contrast. Should definitely get the tom out of there. We're not going to want as much percussion when we start, probably nothing. Maybe just with like some hi-hat, maybe the offbeat. So I'm just trying to see what can we do to keep it interesting and working just by moving stuff. No automation, still no mixing. Okay, I think we've got the basic structure. We just need our intros and outros. So for that, let's just take a chunk of what we got here, extend it over. We could even maybe get rid of the bass. And the last bit, we'll get rid of the kick. We'll get rid of the ride. Oh, we could bring the pad back again as well. Snare is too busy. Then I think we'll just filter everything down from there. We'll probably do pretty much the same thing on the intro. Intro is usually just the outro in reverse. I think we pretty much have our basic blocky arrangement. So now we've got a sketch and we've got an arrangement. And this is where most producers get stuck because it still sounds flat. Most tutorials jump straight into mixing, but there's a step in between. And this is the one that changes everything. Now let's get on to stage 3, the flow stage. Let's start making things move. And let's build it around, say, from the main exciting moments from the drop here. I want to automate that up there. Let that rise up. I think actually around about now, we should probably throw in a couple of returns because I'm going to need to automate them in the flow stage. So give me an echo. By the way, I'm doing this all with just stock Ableton plugins because that's all you need. And then give me a hybrid reverb. Going to need a bit on this. We can fine tune this in the mix stage, but just for now, because I know I'm going to want to automate some of these things. Maybe the FM bass. Oh, definitely the pad. We'll filter the lead in. Could drop out a few kicks for dramatic effect in certain places. Probably same on the bass as well. Even. Okay, let's get this build up working. Definitely going to need that lead here to open up brighter. We're going to need it to go longer for sure. Release. We're going to have all this stuff build up over time. I'm going to throw in a bit of easy washout too. Let's get the frequency going nuts all the way to the top. The same kind of thing with the up. Just grab a utility, set some level there. We'll make sure that So this is the flow stage. Most producers don't even realize this step exists. It's where you take a track that works and make it feel alive. movement, energy, expression. It's where the track gets its soul. We need our bass to go long in the breakdown, so let's bring that up. Actually, I'm going to duplicate it. Let's give ourselves the luxury of our own bass track for the breakdown. This one, yeah, I definitely want it more long. That's kind of nice with a bit of a fifth. So we need a bit of a throw delay, a long delay that's going to help us transition from section to section. Bit here. A bit on the up. Maybe a bit on, say, the drum group even too. Yeah, we could try a bit coming off the lead here at the end. We don't need the sound effects as much then. Okay, this up needs to filter in, maybe a little less filter envelope. Pretty much all our breakdown parts are almost always going to need more space in the breakdowns. More on this guy too. So everything we just did there, let's copy that over to the other breakdown. I don't think we're going to need any ride cymbal in the intro. We can ditch that. Tom. Clap can start halfway. No, the drums can all have more reverb in the breakdowns too. So we could have a bit more expression here in this build as well. And we need to keep it interesting in the drop. We need to go and sort that out. And let's just record this in. Yeah, a little bit more life, a little bit more vibe there. I like that. That's good. Okay, and we'll do the same with washout in this build as well. All right, and that can dip in volume a bit too, probably at least 3 dB or so. And let's start the up off deep like we did over here as well. I can probably just copy the whole chunk. I think we should probably take at least one kick out there before it comes in, bit of impact. Those kind of spots are great also for a little bit of throw delay. If I go to here, can I put that in the matrix? Oh, I can. So that's the amount, so we could do a little bit of... So that gives us a bit of randomization, I suppose, on the brightness. I might even come in and do simplified version of the hats at the start. Better for mixing for the DJ. We don't really need a tom at the start either. Things need to filter in here as well. Let's deal this piece. Let's give it another color too, because we use this in a few places. Filtering on it. Use it here. Need to get the outro sorted. So really things just need to disappear and fade away. Let's bring down the amount of filter envelope. Oh, we've only got like 13 minutes left. Gradually smoothing out. We'll have the filter come down nice and gentle by the end there. Okay, then the filter on the pad, that needs to get darker too. Up is still too plucky by the end. Yeah, we need to bring this peak filter, envelope filter down. Oh, we probably don't want that FM bass at the end. Yeah, and then we just kind of do sort of the same thing for these melodic parts at the start as well. So we could, yeah, let's even just copy them, reverse the direction of this. There, it's going to go from low to high. Same with the pad. I think we don't have one thing is a bit of throw delay as we're entering. Okay, I think we've basically done with the flow stage. Let's get into the mix stage and wrap this up. So let's go to a section where a lot of things are playing. First thing I want to do is I'm going to make a sidechain. Could have had this at the start if you wanted, if it helped with your vibe of writing, but I don't really need it till now. I'm going to set it to be an input, and let's set everything except the drums. Go into sidechain, and let's set kick to trigger it. Getting about 9 dB. That looks pretty good. Okay, let's double check our output level. We could be about a dB louder. All right, let's do some referencing and some analyzing. I mean, it feels a bit bass heavy in some places. I'd say probably the lead also could have a bit more presence. We'll get rid of some of that rumble. That's already pretty good. Let's focus on the lows just to double check it though. I think the bass line might be a little subby. Yeah, even a little bit more on the curve there. All right, let's do a little referencing quickly. My hats and ride are a bit loud. Sort out the drum levels. Snare could be a little louder. All right, I think it's about time to get that drum verb in here. And there's one I like in here. Digital drum plate. Select all my drums. Can adjust those separately later if we need to. And I'm just gonna give it a little bit of focus. I might also give the drums a little bit of compression to glue them together. Ride can have more space. Some of these other sounds too, like the clap and snare, because they only happen sometimes, we can probably have longer verb on them. I think we've still got a little bit too much sub in the bass. And let's check out this final drop here. And I think we got it right before 60 minutes. How about that? 59:59. All right, 1 hour, 4 stages, start to finish. Is that the best sounding track I've ever made? No. But is it finished, release ready, and done in 60 minutes? Yes. And that is the point. And here's what's interesting. Imagine what's possible in 2 hours or a full session day. The system doesn't make you work harder. It makes sure that the time that you put in actually goes somewhere. Now, what you just watched is the system behind the Road to Main Stage Live. This isn't the standard course. It's a live guided version where we go through the entire process together in over 8 weeks, with weekly group calls, feedback on your tracks, and direct guidance from me. And I keep it small on purpose, usually around 10 people, so everybody actually gets proper attention. Now, we only open this course once or twice a year. The next round is coming up soon. So if you want in, join the priority waitlist below. That's where you'll get access before it opens to the public. I appreciate you watching. See you in the next one.